Welcome everyone to my online module. Today we are going to be focusing on Galileo, primary resources, and Quizlet Live. Now for part one of this module, we are going to be focusing specifically on Galileo and the three different databases that can be used most effectively in the middle school context. Now for this particular screencast, we are going to focus on Britanica School. So you're going to log in to your county's Galileo. As you can see right here at the top, I'm logged in under my county. All you'll need is a password, which you can most likely get at the Media Center at your school. So we're going to go ahead and get started. You're going to come down and click right here on Databases A to Z. Galileo has so many different databases for so many different grades. It really is a wonderful resource. Since we're going to focus on the Britanica School, you're going to come right here and click on B and scroll down until we see Britanica School Middle. So this is what the main drag of Britanica School Middle looks like. As you can see right here, there's different options for exploring articles, images, biographies, world atlases. There's all different kind of links down here where you can compare to countries, explore different famous biographies by era, association, or what that person's known for. Recommended primary resources, which we are going to get back to that later. All different kind of tools on here that you can use in the classroom. You can use in the Media Center. The options are virtually endless. So we are going to start just with a few different ways that you can use Britanica School for the four different main core subjects: social studies, ELA, science, and math. Now we're going to start off with social studies, and I'm going to show y'all just the basic way to search using Britanica School. So I'm simply going to type FDR for Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So what this is going to pull up is just, I typed FDR, so this is going to pull up the few articles written by Britanica that are related to FDR. But what I specifically want to talk about is this column over here: images, videos, dictionaries, magazines, webs, best sites, primary sources, year in review, and lesson plans. So as you search on Britanica, you're going to be able to come over here and click for different images that go along with the search that you made. And it is going to pull up different sources, different images or videos or web's best sites. And what's great about this is these are pre-curated. So Galileo and Britanica School have already gone through and ensured the quality of the images that they are showing. So right here you can see U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's home, a meeting with Winston Churchill and Joseph Stalin. So these are going to be sources that you can trust for your students to use. In addition to great images, there's also videos. You can come over here and click on videos, and it's going to bring up 4 videos about FDR that are pre-curated and correct sources that go along with Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So we're going to continue with the FDR example, except I'm going to come up here and type his full name. And what Britanica School does is, as you can see right here, it pulls up recommended articles. So I'm going to click on the official article that the Britanica School has written about FDR. So one great tool that Britanica has is this reading level. This is an awesome option for the classroom. So right now you can see right here, we're on reading level 2. I can come over here and click 1. And what it does is it has similar information, but it simplifies it to a lower reading level. We can go back again to 2, and the information becomes a little more advanced with more advanced vocabulary. And even further if I click reading level 3. So this is great for differentiation in your classroom while staying on the same subject matter for all students. Now, we're also going to talk about primary resources, just briefly, how you can use those when it comes to FDR. So since I have this main article pulled up, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and it's going to say related resources for this article, and I'm going to click primary sources and ebooks. And what this does is Britanica School pulls up all of the primary sources that have to do with FDR. Now we're going to go into more detail about primary sources and what they are and how they can be used, but I did want to tell you that that tool also applies to FDR and to any search that you'll do on a social studies historical character. All right, we're going to move on to another social studies subject, and that is the American Civil War. So we're going to click on recommended articles, and it's going to pull up, just like for FDR, it's going to pull up a main article written about the American Civil War written by Galileo. Same thing, you have these different options, subcategories over here on the left where you can focus on specific parts about the war. But for this example, I'm going to show you how teachers can use this to navigate standards. So if you look up here, we see images and videos, related, and then we see teacher. So let's click on teacher. And then we're going to click on U.S. state standards. We're going to choose the Georgia standard. We're going to choose the subject of social studies. And for this example, we're going to do 8th grade. And we're going to click view results. And what this does is Galileo has all the standards saved when you do each different article source. So not only does it have the Georgia standards that have to do with the Civil War, if you also see right here, it has pre-curated lessons that Galileo has searched through and considered for quality and then linked to these standards to use as an example. So we're going to click on this Underground Railroad. This is a lesson plan by the Alabama Learning Exchange that Galileo has found and linked that is about the Underground Railroad and related to the American Civil War. So if you're doing a project on that, not only can your students utilize Britanica School for resource, for information, for research, you as the teacher or you as the educator can come not only pull up your standards, but also find several lessons that are linked to fit specific standards. So we can do that again down here, and it pulls up another lesson. It's the same lesson about the Underground Railroad that also applies to this standard. It really is an excellent tool. Okay, we're going to also now move on to ELA. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to type fiction, literature. I'm going to click on the recommended article. And for this example, I'm going to show you how you can utilize the web's best sites resource. What this is going to do is pull up websites that Galileo has previously checked and found correct. So we're going to click on this one right now. And it brings up a whole website on literary devices, the definition of fiction, examples of fiction, Alice in Wonderland. So this is not, Britannica School is not just a source for social studies. It's also a great source for ELA. Another thing that you can do for ELA is, let's just use creative writing as an example. And then again, just like we did with the American Civil War, we're going to go to teacher. I wonder if we can find the national standards, the National Common Core standards. So we went through earlier and picked the specific Georgia standard, but you can also click on the National Common Core standards. And then again, come over here to the right and see the standards along with example lesson plans that can be utilized in the English Language Arts classroom. Now, math and science. I don't want you to think that I forgot about you. You can use this site as well. I'm going to come up here to the search bar and type energy. And it's going to bring up a whole article on energy and physics, specifically physics. Now, we've looked at pictures, we looked at primary resources, we looked at how you can use the standards. Another thing you can do is find great videos that have to do with energy, and more specifically, we can go to level 3 videos, which is what I did. This brings up different images that have to do with energy. And then another great example I found that have to do with science is electromagnetic waves. Let's see here. We're going to click on videos. And this brings up 19 wonderful videos that have to do with electromagnetic waves. And all you do is click on it, and it plays it directly.
Our eyes can perceive the light emitted by celestial bodies.
I'm going to pause it just for the module. And not only does it play it, it has the narration right here below. So it's great for students that have visual or even hearing impairments. They can still follow along to the videos. All right, math, you thought I forgot about you, but I didn't. Old Pythagoras. So we searched Pythagoras and brought up the article that has to do with him. I'm going to come up here and click related. And it's going to bring up all different philosophers and thinkers and just people in history that had to do with Pythagoras. So that might be a stretch for math, but you can definitely still use it in your classroom. Another way is by searching linear functions. And if you see right here, it brings up the basic article written by Britanica about linear functions. So this is a great source for math if the students need to review something you've learned, they don't have their textbook, or even you don't send home textbooks. Britanica School is still a great resource to use in the math classroom to make sure that your students are keeping up to date with where you are in your lesson plans. Now that concludes this screencast on Britanica and how it can be used in the main 4 core subjects. I really hope y'all enjoyed that and that y'all are able to utilize Britanica in your classrooms and media centers. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for the next screencast as we discuss the database from Galileo called SRS Discover.